Hey, what's up? My name is Chris, and welcome to Coding in Public. You know, watching people code live is a huge help when you're just learning how to code because it not only gives you a chance to kind of test your knowledge against the person who's trying to figure it out live, but you also get a chance to hear and see how they might think through problems. Today, I want to clip out a small section of a live stream I did recently over Wes Bos's JavaScript 30 projects. And we're just going to look at one project in particular. It's day 15 here, and it's this one right here. You've got a list of items that you can add to with a form, and then you can check them on or check them off. And all of that should be saved to your local storage. And you've got to be able to use event delegation to make sure that you can click each of these items and store whether or not they're checked or unchecked. When you come back to this browser later, because you've saved everything in local storage, it should just reload automatically. All right, without further ado, here is that section of the live stream. All right, so what we're going to want to do is let's set these items to json.parse. And what I want to look at is local storage.get item. And I want to get, let's call it top as items. Top as items. That works. Or an empty array. So that should work. So when we first load the page, I'm setting the items to either anything that's in this local storage. Wait, do I need to do that? Why don't I just leave this how he had it? Because this was kind of the boilerplate code. Let's go from there. So the first thing you need to do is to grab reference to the form. So let's kind of think through this. Get reference to form. And then I want to update list with form entries. And then save to local storage. And then let's do something about like when refreshing, get from local storage. Let's do it. All right, where's my form? Class add items. Oh, he already gave it to me. Thanks, Wes. We'll do add event listener. What we want to list for is a submit. This will get keyboard events. It'll get anything that comes. And then let's grab reference to the event itself, if I can type. And we want to prevent the default to start with, otherwise the page will reload. And then what I want to do is get access to the input value. Let's see, does he give me access to that? No, he does not, I don't think. So I'm going to say const. Let's get, we'll just call it top as item. Top as item equals document.querySelector. Although I guess I could grab the event itself or the form itself. Yeah, let's just do, we'll do add items.querySelector. And we're looking for the input, or let's just do this. Do I have an ID on here? No. Input equals, well, let's just do the input tag with a, this is a submit, oh, that's a submit button. Oh, I always do those as buttons. So type equals text. All right, and then what I want to do is get the value off of this. But let's just console log this first and make sure I'm actually getting what I think I'm getting. So something here, hit enter, get null. Awesome, just what I wanted. Let's get rid of this. I don't need all of that. I should be able to just say this. Okay, there we go. Can I tack a dot value on here? Yes, I can. All right, so we've got access to the value itself. Now I think what I want to do is items.push. And what I want to push on here is an object where I got my top as item, which is whatever the value of the thing is. And then I also want to have if it's checked. So we'll say false. Oh. What am I doing? I'm in an object. All right, and then down here, let's console.log my items. Stuff. All right. So there we go. We got one item in here. I should be able to just keep coming and clicking and adding extra stuff. and each time I should get more stuff. So I'm adding all of these things, pushing them all into this array, and then we've got access to each of them, and it says whether or not they're checked, which would be false by default, and then top is items. Now what I need to do is whenever I update that, I just want to say items list dot let's see, can I just add append a child? Basically what I need to do is add the item to the actual thing. So let's go ahead and let's update the list now with these form entries. So, and I think what I'm going to do is come up here and let's have something like generate item. Do I have any? It doesn't really say. So they're just list item. I need a checkbox. So let's just build this out first of all, just to see what this should look like. So I want a list item, and then inside that list item, I think what I want is a type of checkbox. And let's do that. This needs to be self-closing. What am I doing wrong here? Let's do input, checkbox. All right, I think we're good now. And then what I want is I need to have some kind of label in here too. So we'll point this to like an whatever ID of 1 here. And then here I'll say like hi. All right, so that's what I want. Hey, that's cool. I'd forgotten that. Yeah, he has these, must be this, just the styling here. So that's all I want, something like this. All right, we can do that. Let's get rid of that. Line 39. Yeah. Down this way. Unexpected identifier. What did I change down here, though? I didn't think I changed anything. Well, let's just go back to where life was happy and everything was working. Oh, it's because I had this generate item and I never did anything with it. So, well, I guess we don't need to generate it here, because this is basically all I want. What if we did something like function generate list? And then what I want to do is take in my items. And for each item, I want to say item, I want to return. What I could do, let's map over them instead. So let's map over each item. Do I need the index? I don't think so. And let's just automatically return what I just typed up top there. All right, so we'll have actually inside here an li, since this is a list after all. And what I'm going to do is just basically return some code in here, and then I do need some extra stuff. So maybe I actually do need access to the index. So let's call this item and then index. Item, index. So I've got two things I'm passing through this arrow function. And this ID needs to be whatever the index is. So let's call this like, well, we could just pass this as the index, I think. So let's do that. So I've got the index, so this will be like 0, 1, 2, 3, whatever. And then same thing here. Okay. And then inside here, what I want is the item dot tapas. What was that thing? Somehow I commented out everything. How did I comment out everything? Or, oh, I didn't finish this off. It's just yelling at me. Tapas item, yeah. Tapas. item. Okay, like that. And then whether or not it's checked, I should be able to do a little check here. Let's also, I think that should work for the ID. Top is item is the name of it. Yeah, let's see what we're gonna. I think we should be good. So what I want to do is do a little check statement here, and I want it to be checked if so the item dot checked equals true, then I want it to be checked. Otherwise, I just want an empty string. And then I want to generate the list down here. So what I've done is I pushed it in, and then each time I'll just generate the list. Obviously, if you're working with something more dynamic like React, you could generate these one at a time. But let's come in here, add something, and something broke. Generate list. Oh, I never set this to anything. So what I want to do is set my items list dot inner HTML to HTML to this, and what it's going to do, it's not going to work yet because I actually need to. So if I add this, as soon as I add extra, we're going to get these commas in between, and that's because it's technically an array here. So what I need to do is after mapping over these, I need to what's that called? I can't think of what the thing is called. Let's have an array here. Array equals 1, 2, and then what I want to do is just say array dot, what am I looking for? Not flat, join. Okay, there we go. So dot join, and we want to join it on nothing. So in other words, this map returns to us an array. That's what maps return. And so it's giving me a comma between each of those items. Now, if I come in here and I add stuff, it won't do that. Okay, so we got our stuff. I'm not sure why it's reloading. Something with live servers being weird. So I should be able to click, and we're set to go. Now, the trick is I want to save it, and I want stuff to stay in my local storage. So the next thing I need to do is, after I've pushed these, so update local array, generate UI. I guess we could do it here too. That works. Update local storage. So all I'm going to do is say local storage, local storage dot set item. We're going to set the item. So I need a key and then my string. What did I call that up top? Oh, I got rid of that, I think. So we can call this tapas items. I'm pretty sure that has to be, it has to be a string. And same thing here. So we'll do JSON dot stringify, and we're going to stringify my items. All right, so if we did this right, actually, let's come in here. Application. All right, let's do stuff here. Stuff, and it saves. All right, and each time I add one, it should add extra ones. There we go. Cool. All right, now what we're going to do is we can use the same generate list, not only when we're adding stuff, but also when the window loads. So we've done that. And now what we can do is say, oh, you know what? We're going to have to do something else here too. When items are checked, update local storage. So what we should probably do, because we're going to have to update local storage in 2 places, let's split this out into a function. So we'll say update storage, like that. And I don't need to say what it is. Why am I saying generate? Because it already says generate. And then let's do that. So we'll say function, function, update storage. And that's what we'll do. We might need to alter that slightly, but just making sure this is still working. Okay. When refreshing, get from local storage. So we'll do window dot add event listener maybe. Or we should be able to generate this list to start with. So maybe we just run this right away. Maybe this is where we can grab this. So maybe I was thinking correctly up here. Let's see if we were. So I want this to either be grabbing this from local storage or an empty array, and that way it won't it won't mess up on us since it'll be an array either way. Get item, and this needs to be json.parse. Hey, things are happening. We did stuff. All right, so now it's actually loading it from local storage. All right, so now as soon as it loads, it's going to first see, hey, is there anything in local storage? If so, go ahead and get that and parse it. And then because we're running this generate list right away, it will actually run it immediately, and it'll look through each of the items in items, which at this point is going to be from my local storage. Let's see what happens if we add stuff. It's still working. We refresh. Okay, cool. So forget all this. Now the only thing we have to do is when items are checked. Now here's the trouble. Right now there's nothing to be checked. And when the window loads, that's when it's going to be able to add event listeners and stuff. So right now I can't really add event listeners to these individual items, which I think, if I remember correctly, he called this event delegation. And that's why, because we have to delegate that event from the thing that is already in the DOM, which is this plates, this items list. So what we're going to do is come down here, and we're going to say items list dot add event listener. We're going to listen for a click. And whenever that happens, we're going to pass in an event. And we're going to say console.log the event. All right, we'll come in here and click. Stuff happened. Pointer events. Look at all these pointer events. All right, so what it's given us is whatever we clicked on. And what I want to see is if the target equals this checkbox. So let's do that. How did I set this up? Okay, so what I want to know is if, I guess if the target equals the li, let's get the e.target down here and see what I'm getting back. So if I click on the label, I get the label and the input. Label and the input. So I'm never really getting just the li. So it clicks on both of them. So what I can do is just say e.target equals, do I have a class on these? Has attribute, I could do that. Has attribute, right? And then I could just do if it has a name. No, that's not going to work. So what do I need to do? I guess I could check if it's a type of checkbox. Or just if it's not the e.current target, which is the thing it's set against. True, true, true. But that would also give me true over here. So let's console.log this one more time. Let's just give these classes, because I don't know how that's going to work with both of them. Maybe it's just that it has to be a type of checkbox. So let's just add a class. I think that'll be quick. The easiest way to do this will just be like checkbox or something. There's other ways to check, but evidently that has attribute wasn't working. I don't want to try to figure it out. So e.target.class list.contains, and it's containing checkbox. So true, false, true, false, true, false. Okay. So what it's doing is it's basically getting me both the label and the checkbox. But that's fine. I just need one of those to be true. So what I can do is just run an if in here, an if check, and basically say Actually, let's just make this a guard clause. So what we're going to say is if it's not equal to that, then go ahead and return. And then if it is, then what we're going to do is say, I want to check it either way. And I need to know if it is checked or not. And I need to know the ID, the index of the whole thing. So you know what? I've already got an index here in the ID itself. So let's just check. Let's talk through this real brief. So what I need to do is see if it is checked. Actually, I just need the ID so I can locate it in the array, the items array. And then I need to update state for that checkbox. And I want it to be the opposite of whatever the checkbox is. And then I should be able to just, I don't have to really generate the list, but I do need to update the storage. Okay, so we'll say, let's look at the items, and what we're going to look at is the index of see, am I overcomplicating this? Probably. Let's look at the e.target.id and make sure that this is, I don't need this in strings. Let's make sure this is a number. I think that matters. And then we'll course into number because it should be a string here. And then what we're going to do is say checked. Right? Let's just grab the current item and make sure I'm actually getting what I think I'm getting. Console.log. Okay. So I am getting what I want. Okay, cool. So current item, and then I just want current item dot checked is equal to the opposite of current item dot checked. And then that's what I did just there. That's what I did just there. And then I can update storage. Let's see if this all worked. Check, check, refresh. There we go. Cool. And it tracks it either way. All right, I hope that was a big help for you. If you have suggestions on how to make this better, please leave a comment below. I'll give you one suggestion. You could strip out any possible malicious code from that form so that nothing like that would get through to your actual list. That's just one suggestion for how to make this a little bit better. All right, if you haven't checked out Wes Bos's course, he doesn't know I exist, so I'm not getting any kind of kickback for this, but I think it's really helpful, especially if you're learning JavaScript, javascript30.com. All right, thanks so much for watching. I will catch you in the next one. Happy coding.